story. It happened the second week of September at about 9:15 p.m. I had a call from Larbanga that a woman was in labor and she could not sit on the motor, according to the mother. And the way she sounded, I knew there was a problem. I had no choice because I had to save life. So I got up, came out, picked my bag because I have an already prepared bag down that I use for domiciliary delivery, that is conducting delivery at home. So I went on my motorbike to the community. When I got there, the woman had delivered halfway. In fact, it was a bridge delivery. Let me say, undiagnosed bridge, because she was a regular attendant, antenatal attendant, but then it was an undiagnosed bridge. The woman, they delivered the baby halfway. The lower limbs were out, and then the baby was hanging. One woman sat and supported the baby, uncovered. I got there, and I had to quickly deliver the baby. So I quickly covered the baby, then brought out the upper limbs, and I delivered the head. After delivering the baby, I realized that the baby was badly asphyxiated. That is, the baby could not breathe, it could not cry. So I had to quickly do something because the ABGA score was 6. So something had to be done to save the baby.
As soon as I started feeling the labor pains, I called my mother and one traditional birth attendant who tried to deliver the baby. But it was difficult, and later I was not very conscious. So I cannot say exactly what happened. I only realized that the nurse from the health center came and I delivered.
I quickly cleared the airways and then I tried to resuscitate the baby. I resuscitated the baby by using a device that I produced myself. I used the water bottle, the Baltic water bottle, and I cut the head round with a foam. And that was what I used to resuscitate the baby. And the baby responded to the resuscitation. And the baby is doing well. Then the mother, after resuscitating the baby, after delivering the placenta, I realized that the mother was bleeding. So I gave oxytocin. Then I gave the oxytocin before delivering the placenta. I realized that she was bleeding. So I gave ergometrin, and then I massaged the uterus, expelled the clots, and then she was fine. But I had to stay there for some time to monitor the baby and then the mother to be sure that they were okay before I leave. So I stayed there for about 1.5 hours. Made sure that the baby was in good condition, it was stable, bleeding had stopped, and then the mother was okay. So at about 12:30 p.m., a.m., I then left the place and came back to Muli. But then I told them they should call me in case anything happened, there's a change in the baby, they should call me and then I'll come and see how the baby was doing. But then they didn't call. So the following day, at about 6 a.m., I had to go back there to see how they were feeling. And then the baby was doing well, mother was okay. The baby is fine.
The child, however, was not crying, and he wasn't breathing normally. So the midwife put something on the child's mouth and pinched him, and then he started crying. I could not go to the clinic myself because I could not sit on a motorbike, and there was no other means to get to the hospital. When I realized that the baby was coming out with the legs first, I knew that if the midwife had not come, something bad would have happened. Maybe the child or I would not have survived.
Her mother called for me. When I arrived, they told me that they had sent for the nurse at the Mole Healthcare. I, however, realized she was suffering. In my bid to help, I realized the baby's legs were coming out first, and I told them we were in trouble. We were very lucky that the nurse from the clinic arrived at that time and delivered the baby safely. We can only assist, but we always advise the pregnant women to visit the clinic when they go into labor.
I was not expecting, maybe she wasn't expecting the delivery until that time. And even the birth attendants, they were assisting. And because of lack of transport, but at that time they cannot do otherwise, you see, than assisting her delivery at home. Like if there were a means of transport, they could have transported her to the health, any health center. We should advise our women as family heads, if you conceive, the best point of call, you should go to the clinic, and subsequently you go for maternal antenatal, care. So that one will give you a safety in your pregnancy, and also a safety delivery.
After I delivered the baby and I started resuscitating, and then the baby was responding, they were so excited. They looked so very excited. So when I finished, the mother said, "Oh, thank you, madam. If you hadn't come, we don't know what would have happened to the baby and then the mother." So they were really happy.